Boys, it's a highway robbery! At least that's what the New Orleans Saints have pulled off this offseason. And in today's video, I'm going to go into great detail about what I mean. And you can take the hint. It's probably going to be around Kelvin Banks Jr., the New Orleans Saints first-round draft pick. But we're also going to dive into another player that I believe was an absolute steal by the New Orleans Saints. We're sticking on the theme of crime today, having a little bit of fun here before the 4th of July. Hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. Please be safe. Please call an Uber and have a fun, exciting weekend. And let's get into the highway robbery that the New Orleans Saints have pulled off, and it is none other than Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive lineman that was drafted out of the Texas Longhorns by the New Orleans Saints in the top 10 this year. And at the time of the pick, me, just like a lot of other Saints fans, were all very, annoyed, and it's just like, we're beating a dead horse. How many times are we going to draft an offensive lineman? God forbid we go and get the super fun wide receiver. We go get the ridiculously talented tight end. We go and get the flashy quarterback or the crazy talented edge rusher. Of course, it would be fun to go and get those positions, but I do believe that this was a player who was extremely popular in mock drafts, especially later on. As we got closer to draft day, he was skyrocketing up the boards, and a lot of analysts viewed him as a clear-cut top 10 pick, including Jeremy Fowler. He reported that the scouts across the National Football League viewed him as a very, very good offensive lineman, and he was actually getting compared to Laramie Tunsil, who, if you didn't know, one of the best offensive linemen to do it in recent history. He's a 5-time Pro Bowl offensive tackle, and I think that this is a player that Saints fans should be extremely excited about, and it's a player that I'm really pumped up because I think for the foreseeable future, we're headed in the right direction. And you guys want to tap in right now here to Saints Now by Chat Sports because the future is bright for New Orleans, but it's also bright here at Saints Now by Chat Sports. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We're just over 3,000 new subs away. So join our Golden Gang. All you got to do is hit the big red sub button and then turn on your notifications and set them to all, and you will get any type of content that we post, whether we're going live, short form content, or videos that we put out almost every single day. Kelvin Banks Jr. at Texas, down in Austin, was extremely, extremely productive. An overall PFF grade of 86.2. He was an excellent pass blocker. He was very strong against the run, only allowed 1 sack, 10 pressures. Only a handful of QB hits as well, and he was extremely productive and extremely reliable as a 3-year starter. 935 snaps last year, one of the most reliable offensive linemen, not just in the SEC, but in all of college football. And he was rarely beat in pass protection last season. And you're going to see a lot of clips from Falcons fans. You're going to see a lot of people probably clip this and go and run with it on social media and be like, oh yeah, Kelvin Banks barely got beat in pass protection. Well, here's a Jalen Walker, and here's James Pierce Jr. all doing it. Yeah, okay, whatever. Fine. One good rep where actually Kelvin Banks Jr. kind of had control the entire rep, and he got tripped, and then the guy kind of just fell into Quinn Ewers, and Quinn Ewers held on to the football too long for what it's worth. All in all, I'm here to tell you this is a player who is a very, very talented offensive lineman. And there are concerns going into his rookie season of, can he put it all together? Can he be a mauler? Can he be an effective run stopper? But I truly do believe putting him at the left tackle position is an extremely good decision by Kellen Moore because I think that he's a player that can offer a lot and can really shore up the offensive line for the foreseeable future. Catherine Terrell of ESPN had some really interesting things to say around Kelvin Banks Jr. ESPN put out an article going through all of the rookie first-round picks and kind of some reports and updates around him. Here's what Kat had to say. The Saints seem prepared to make Banks their future starting left tackle, which frees up 2024 first-round pick Taliesin Fuaga to move to the right tackle, the position that he played back in college. And for what it's worth, he played all of his snaps at Oregon State at the right tackle position, kicked over to the left side last year as a rookie with Trevor Penning going to the right, and now Penning is now at the left guard spot. But continuing with Catherine Terrell, although New Orleans moved Banks around at times during OTAs, it seems clear that Banks will ultimately play tackle now that Trevor Penning has moved to guard. And Saints center Eric McCoy, one of the best in the game, said that he thinks Banks will hold down the left side for a, quote, long time. And I'm here to tell you that you should be very confident in that, and you should get excited about that. Of course, we wanted a Tet McMillan. Got taken the pick before. You wanted a Tyler Warren. You wanted a Jaden Higgins. You wanted a Shedeur Sanders. You wanted something flashy. You wanted something fun. And my whole thing was I just wanted a player whose jersey I can go and buy. But I'm here to tell you, Kelvin Banks has the ability and the potential to be a Teron Armstead, a Jari Evans, a Ryan Ramczyk, one of those offensive tackles that you just play, you start him, and he is going to be good to go from the foreseeable future and throughout his entire career. And at first I was kind of annoyed and kind of frustrated with the pick because I wanted something fun. But I do have faith in Kellen Moore, and I do believe he needs to build his roster and build the team his way. And if he thinks that going and getting Kelvin Banks at the left tackle position, moving Trevor Penning on the inside, and Talese Fuanga back at the right tackle spot, if that's what he thinks is the right way to do it, then hell, who am I to disagree with him? Now, how do you feel about the Kelvin Banks Jr. pick now that we've seen some good things coming out of training camp? I always keep saying training camp. We're about to get to training camp. But how do you feel about him? Because we've seen some good things coming out from OTAs and minicamp. You've had the dust settle. You've been able to ingest and really think about the landscape and the future of this team. And I got to tell you, the longer this time goes on since the pick and the more time passes, the more I'm really confident and very happy actually about the selection. And look, the offensive line, it's no mystery. Last year and in previous seasons, over the past handful of years, it's been a big-time weakness, and you can see that the Saints have tried to address that, especially drafting early in the draft multiple years in a row, investing high premium capital in the offensive line. And I do think that weakness could truly become a strength very, very quickly, especially considering you have players that I think are going to be in better fits for what their skill sets are. Kelvin Banks Jr., obviously, you're going to keep him at the left tackle position. That's where he played a lot for the Texas Longhorns. He was on the left side. Talese Fuanga, like I said earlier, he was on the right side all throughout college. So moving him to the left side, not only was he transitioning and learning the new speed of professional football versus college, he was also having to learn an entirely new side. And I'm not going to stand here and say he did a bad job of it because he actually did a tremendous job. But I think that he'll be even better when he's back in his natural position. Trevor Penning, I do have confidence in him moving into the interior of the offensive line. He's been showing a strong willingness. He's embraced the role. And I think that this is his last opportunity to really have a spot in the National Football League, let alone as a starter on the New Orleans Saints. Eric McCoy, I'm not worried about him. He's one of the best centers in the league. Cesar Ruiz, I want to see him be consistent and put it together all year long. Because look, when this offensive line, when they were healthy last year, this was one of the top O-lines in the National Football League. And if you disagree, go back and look at the PFF grades. Go back and look at the stats. Go back and look at how good the Saints offense was looking until Eric McCoy went down. That's when everything started getting derailed. And unfortunately, it was super early on in week 3. But even in week 3 against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Saints offensive line was still doing solid despite missing Eric McCoy. And again, you have Eric McCoy in there. Entirely different story and an entirely different season, in my opinion. But this was an offensive line that, when they are healthy, were really, really talented. I mean, it sucks that you had to lose Ryan Ramczyk. It sucks that things haven't quite panned out with Trevor Penning. But I do believe that if you can keep this offensive line healthy, not only will the offensive line just entirely turn things around, but I think the offensive rushing attack, the passing attack, I think those will greatly benefit. I think the defense will greatly benefit. I think all of the team will be in a much better position if the offensive line can, 1, stay healthy, and 2, put things together, especially on the left side for Trevor Penning and Kelvin Banks. Now, coming up, we're going to talk more about the Saints pulling off highway robbery, because I'm telling you right now, they did not stop in round 1. This was actually a very underrated draft, in my opinion, and I'm going to tell you about a very exciting player that I have already gotten to talk about quite a bit. But really quickly, guys, these shirts are on sale. $60. They are now $24. That's over 50% off. Are you kidding me, for a Nike shirt? I mean, this thing is nice, y'all. Trust me, you got to go and get yours before they're gone. Chatsports.com/Saints sale. You can click the link in the comments or description below me, or you can just search this in your URL or whatever, and you can get directly taken to the shirt. Go get yours today. All sizes available, but not for long. Chatsports.com/Saints sale. Highway robbery! Get on the ground! We're going to be talking about Danny Stutsman once again, and I'm here to just have this conversation as many opportunities as I get, because this is a player that I'm so ecstatic to have in New Orleans. And I think for the long-term benefit of this defense, this draft pick will be forever looked at as a great pick. And I really, really hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, something probably went drastically downhill. And unfortunately for the rest of the NFC South, they have to deal with this guy and have to plan against him because he is a freak of nature. He is a player with an extremely high motor, a very, very fun player to watch. Just turn on the tape, and I'm telling you, you will get so fired up. You'll get so excited. I've had the opportunity to speak to Danny Stutsman, father Steven, and I have to tell you, their family is awesome, and a family full of athletes from their mom to dad, brother, sister. I mean, this is a athletic family, and I'm really, really excited to see not just him, but his family embrace the city of New Orleans. He's very excited to be there, and Danny Stutsman, I have even heard from his dad, is especially excited to play alongside a legend like Demario Davis and then compete with a player like Pete Werner. And, of course, they have the healthy rivalry with Jalen Ford because of the Texas versus OU rivalry. And, look, this is a really, really talented guy, a tackling machine, over 100 tackles for the Oklahoma Sooners last year. And it's a really interesting case study for Oklahoma and Texas for that matter, but especially because they went from the Big 12 where defense was optional to the SEC where defense is the backbone of college football and how you win games in that conference. And Danny Stutsman did not shy away, and he did not miss a beat. Of course, he does have some opportunities to develop. He's really, really good against the run, but he does have the traits to hold up in coverage. He has really strong instincts, really nice intangibles, and he's a great downfield or downhill run defender. He's extremely athletic, and he's a very passionate player, and he's a player that is super easy to buy into as a fan. Like, I truly think that we're going to be seeing a lot of Danny Stutsman jerseys over the next couple of years at the Superdome. And personally, that's the jersey that I'm buying first this year because I think that he's just going to be a guy that's so easy to buy stock into. He's extremely passionate about the sport of football. He loves the game. He loves the city of New Orleans already. You can see that by all of the things he's done. When they're out doing the rookie tours through New Orleans, he's like front and center for all of them. He's arms around his teammates. I mean, he's embracing it. He's excited to be here. And I think that not just in terms of the scheme and what the player can do for the team, but I also think just as a culture, the cultural fit, this is a match made in heaven. Preparation for Danny Stutsman is really, really big. He takes pride in going into games and going into situations prepared and being able to rely on those instincts to be able to make the play. And again, I know that it sounds like I'm just talking all this crazy stuff about this player, but I'm really, really excited about him. I think that you should be excited as well. And he's quickly becoming a fan favorite, and we haven't even seen him suit up for the preseason yet. This is a really exciting time to be a Saints fan. It's an exciting time to buy stock in New Orleans, and I'm here to tell you that I think Danny Stutsman and Kelvin Banks Jr. will be building block pieces for the foreseeable future on the offense and the defensive side of the football. Now, final thoughts. I think the New Orleans Saints are headed in the right direction, not just to win some games this year, and I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win 8-10 games. Like, I don't want to set that expectation whatsoever because I think it's unrealistic. But I do think in 2, 3, 4 years from now, we should be able to see sustained success at a high level. Kellen Moore has done a really good job of tapping into the skill sets and the strengths of the rosters that he's coached, and I do have faith in him as an offensive mind because he's young, he's innovative, and I have a lot of I'm just very excited, I should say. I'm very, very excited and eager to see how this all plays out. It may not work, but I do think that it will, and I think that this is a really good time to buy stock into the New Orleans Saints because right now, it's at a low level, but here in the next few years, I think the stock is going to raise down in the Big Easy. Now, Saints fans, I really hope you guys have a fun and safe 4th of July weekend. Please be safe. Call an Uber. Don't do anything stupid. Put on sunscreen. Friendly reminder, if you're going to be out by the pool, don't say that Trizzy didn't warn you. Get in the comment section, type USA, USA, USA. If you're pumped up to kick back, watch some fireworks, have some hot dogs, crush a couple brewskis, and just hang out with friends, family, and celebrate this wonderful country that we get to call home. Who Dat Nation, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys for always tapping in, especially in the offseason. This is kind of the dog days, and this is the part where it really got to dig deep. So for those of you who are still tuned in, y'all are real ones, and we'll see you guys next time. Y'all stay golden.